Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name is Amy. I am an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. Now, we are in the Niv, okay? And this is like we're about to start our second book of the Old Testament. We'll be in the Niv through 2025. In 2026, we will be in the KJV. We'll start comparing the languages between the two well before then. But right now, we're about to, in Bible time here, we are jumping forward from the end of Genesis into Exodus. Okay? 430-year jump. Joseph, the son of Jacob, or Israel, since that's how God changed his name, got everybody in Egypt sold into slavery, sold into Pharaoh's service. And they were happy about it at the time. And now we're 430 years in the future, and we're going to get to meet Moses. And this is their next prophet. That's really what it is. 430-year jump, because prophet to prophet. The Old Testament is like that. When you get into the books of the prophets, that's what it is. It's prophet to prophet to prophet. Abraham was considered a prophet. So were his children. At least some of them. The reason some of them were chosen and others weren't, because it was about who God could talk to. So, those became the prophets. So we went from our last prophet, Joseph, and we're about to meet our next one. But it was 430 years without one. And of, essentially, slavery. The Israelites oppressed. Because remember, with Joseph dead, eventually you're going to get to a generation who does not understand why these people were ever considered honored here. Right? Because you don't have anybody there to remind them. Exodus chapter 1 verse 1. These are the names of the sons of Israel who were in Egypt with Jacob, each with his family: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The descendants of Jacob numbered 70 in all. Joseph was already in Egypt. Now Joseph and all his brothers and all that generation died. But the Israelites were fruitful and multiplied greatly and became exceedingly numerous, so that the land was filled with them. Okay. Then a new king, who did not know about Joseph, came into power. Look, he said to his people, the Israelites have become much too numerous for us. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, or they will become even more numerous. And if war breaks out, we'll join our enemies, fight against us, and leave the country. So they put slave masters over them to oppress them with forced labor. And they built Pithom and Ramesses as store cities for the Pharaoh. Now, what they're finding with archaeology these days is they're starting to find these, like, scattered where you would think they would be. Storerooms. And they're also finding in those areas seals with the names of kings that are listed in this Old Testament. So it's not all just myth. Archaeology is just now scraping down to enough of a level to go back far enough. If they would only stop being at war, so we could find out even more. But the more, verse 12, but the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. Yeah, because you're not giving them much else to look forward to, are you? So the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites and worked them ruthlessly. They made their lives bitter with hard labor in brick and mortar and with all kinds of work in the fields. In all their hard labor, the Egyptians used them ruthlessly. You know what else they're doing? teaching them skills, things you need to create a nation. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shipra and Puah, when you help the Hebrew women in childbirth and observe them on the delivery stool, if it is a boy, kill him. But if it is a girl, let her live. The midwives, however, feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had told them to do. They let the boys live. Then the king of Egypt summoned the midwife and asked them, "Why have you done this? Why have you let the boys live?" The midwives answered Pharaoh, "Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are vigorous and give birth before the midwives arrive." Oh, they're saying, sorry, but the babies are already out before we're getting there. So God was kind to the midwives, and the people increased and became even more numerous because the midwives feared God. He gave them families of their own. Then the Pharaoh gave this order to all his people: every boy that is born, this is Masoretic text, so like Mosaic text. I just don't pronounce it right. Samaritan, Pentateuch, Septuagint, and the Targums born to the Hebrews. Okay. Every boy born to the Hebrews, you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl live. So he gave the official order, which is terrible. 430 years of oppression, and you're getting to hear what it sounds like. But the Pharaoh can't outwit the midwives who fear God more than him. When God is on your side, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It's always been there.